Are we doing it again? Oh, why am I sweating? It's only because I just had a shower. That's why I'm sweating. Yes, roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Yes, we are doing it again. I am doing it again. Hope you are doing it with me. The session commences and your company is required. That thing that happens twice a day, the first installment of today. So if you are available, avail yourself of the goings on round here. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwa namno wow. Hey, ana mekele maduche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Just sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving fast now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right and moving fast. Never freedom. Is another Savior. Never freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwa namno wow. Hey, ana mekele maduche mefo.
And there it is right there, the holy, holy song. we have to find another song to replace that because it's getting somewhat stayed and out of relevance. So that holy holy song, we have to find another. So if you have any recommendation of any copyright free music that is pertinent to the that rhymes with the style of the platform. So if you have any recommendations of any copyright free music that is relevant to the style of the fashion and what we do here, and then please send it to me via Instagram. So let me pop my Instagram link in the comment section actually, because yes, we would like to. I think that Nnamdi Kanu is another state savior now. It's getting somewhat passe. Its time seems to have somewhat waned. So any recommendations, send it to me via this Instagram link right there. So meanwhile, that's still what we have to go with. Holy, holy, as guys, I bring you this. Buhari replaces ex-ministers, sends nominees list to Senate. So it is quite pertinent. And when I read it out to you, the list of names, then what will strike you immediately is the bias in the list of names. Because the list of names that Buhari is sending as replacements to the ministers that have stepped down their portfolios, the list of names shows a bias in to a certain direction, to a particular region within the Nigerian political space. But what are you reading into that, or what should we read into that, is the question. Buhari replaces ex-ministers, sends nominees list to Senate. So we go to the list of names and we decide what we're making of it. So from that to this, Nigerians react as Tinubu reveals what he did to secure APC presidential ticket. So the mystery now, is it dollar bags? Is it a political strong arming? What exactly did he do to land this ticket? So we find out and we respond to it, of course. Whatever I did do, he certainly did it successfully. Nigerians react as Tinubu reveals what he did to secure APC presidential ticket. So what is in play there? We find out shortly. Sanusi denies endorsing Peter Obi. So we'll read this only to document it, but I'm not really going to have too much of a discussion around this because I want to try and be avoiding somewhat the Peter Obi space as much as is possible, because you cannot really seem to have a civil discourse around that particular topic at the moment. But we must document how that journey is progressing, and we document this as well. Sanusi denies endorsing Peter Obi. So there it is right there. It looks as though it's the debunking season for the Peter Obi narrative. So what's in play there, we'll find out shortly. Trouble, hold on. Trouble in APC as Adamu claims Lawan contested Yobe North senatorial primary. So here it is right there. This is what happens within the Nigerian space, of course. This guy, I don't know if they are going to now try to start forging documents to submit to the INEC space, is the thing. Because this seems to now be a new development. They were persuading that guy to step down, Machina, and he was insisting that he will hold on to the mandate that he secured. But now suddenly they have now discovered that Lawan actually contested in that election, which hitherto he had not. So this is how things change within they'll just say anything, isn't it? And they'll just submit it. Their clansman is the man in charge of INEC. So he will just toe the tribal line, and that is it. And Ahmed Lawan returns to the Senate. Trouble in APC as Adamu claims Lawan contested Yobe North senatorial primary. And that is it. So I think you can actually sue the Nigerian space under the Trade Description Act to for the audacity of describing what they are practicing as democracy. It is any and many things. It's certainly not democracy. What is being practiced in Nigeria is not democracy. So I'll read this one as well because it's a story that I came across. I have actually read this one, which runs contrary to how I usually like to do things. I like to just read it with you guys so we get an on-the-moment response together. But I'd read this one and it struck me as strong enough to present to you guys. Presidency under fire over confirmation of Abdul Salami's health status. So this is the former military dictator, of course, that replaced Abacha and then gifted us the constitution that has held the country into slavery since 1999. It looks as though he is suffering health challenges, presidency under fire over confirmation of Abdul Salami's health status. So what is in play there? You will find out shortly. I have found out already. So a rich and diverse menu. So lean back, kick back, take it easy, relax into it. The usual protocol, click on the like button if you will, and click on the subscribe button as well if you haven't done that already. We're trying to push ourselves up the chain in the YouTube space, and that involves the like button and the subscribe button. So click on like and subscribe, and if you want to come join me on the screen, click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. I'll put it in the comment section again, especially if you have not been on the screen before and you feel sufficient enough in your articulation to come and take on some of the talking points, then click on the hyperlink and come join me on the screen. So as you set about the clicking, let me provide you a little bit of musical nourishment. Let's put it that way. As we join the K guys.
Water, only water, only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. Ikú kò ní rí wà gbéṣe o.
Hold on. Let me just play you another music. I have to attend to something just for a moment.
Oyedu aipo, omeriwo n'Izu, Oniroya, Abakare, Mama Dawora.
All right, apologies for that. So let's crack on with it. Nando wins the war was where we were, but does he win the war is the question. It's 1 year in incarceration now, so perhaps he needs to redouble his efforts in that war. Buhari replaces ex-ministers, sends nominees list to Senate. So what's in play here? The Nigerian Senate has received the executive combination. Let's do that again. The Nigerian Senate has received the executive communication with the nomination of 6 names as replacement for ministers that resigned to contest the presidential election. In a letter that was read by the Senate President Dr. Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan on Tuesday, President Mohamed Buhari said the nominees would replace the former ministers that resigned from his cabinet. The letter reads, in accordance with Section 8, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I beg your pardon. The letter reads, In accordance with Section 8, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, I hereby forward you the underlisted ministerial nominees for your consideration. So that's fine, fair enough, but it is really the list of names that I would like you to pay attention to. Henry Ikechukwu Iko from Abia State is number one. Umana Okon Umana from Akwa Ibom is number two. Egwema Kalma Joseph Nkama from Ebonyi is number three. Goodluck Nana Opaya from Imo State is number four. Umar Ibrahim El Yakub, of course, Amala is number from Kano State is number five. Ademola Adewale Ademola Adewale Ade Goroye from Ondo State. So his number is at number six, and the seventh one is Udom Odia from River State. So the weight, of course, there's a prejudice there in that list, but the prejudice not pointing in the direction that Malam Buhari is usually prejudiced. The prejudice pointing in the direction, especially of the southeast and sweeping up the south-south, but really a southeastern field. So I am not saying that, I am not accepting rather that it's either like for like or Buhari being nationalistic. I see very much the politics of 2023 in the reading of this list. So it's a reaching out to the southeastern part, sweeping up the south-south somewhat to try and bring them on board whatever sympathy that they can give towards the APC intentions for 2023. So I feel this. I feel as though this is very much politically loaded. That is my reading of it, because this prejudice is completely anathemic to what Buhari presents as a person. The direct opposite of who Buhari is how this reads. Henry Oko, Abia State. Umana Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom State. Igwe Makama Joseph Nkama, Ebonyi State. Goodluck Nana Opaya, Imo State. Umar El Yakubu, Kano State. Ademola Adegoroye, Ondo State. And Udom Odi from Rivers. So there it is right there. That is many things, but that is not a Buhari list. So what is in play there? What is your reading of that? Nigerians react as Tinubu reveals what he did to secure APC presidential ticket. So what did the Luther of Lagos State do apart from spread money around, outside of spreading money around? The presidential flag bearer of All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, has caused a stir after disclosing that he resorted to prayers. All right. Okay, so that's where it's going. All right. The presidential flag, can't get the words out. The presidential flag bearer of All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, has caused a stir after disclosing that he resorted to prayers in the battle to secure the APC ticket. The correspondence reports that the former governor and national leader Tinubu stated this during his visit to Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, on Sunday. Recalling the experience, Tinubu revealed his victory at the party's presidential primary did not come easy, as he fought very hard to clinch the ticket. So many things and everything you can say about Tinubu, but that I think we can all accept as a statement of fact. He fought tooth and nail for that ticket. Tooth and nail. Every muscle that he had, he expended for that ticket. According to Tinubu, there is no Lagos indigene that has had the opportunity to become president of Nigeria, despite the contribution of the state to national stability and progress. The highest position attained by any Lagosian in national leadership is the position of Chief Judge of the Federation. I took up the fight to break this jinx. The battle to secure the APC ticket was hard. When I was almost fed up, I resorted to prayers. I also poured out my heart when I felt there was a gang up against my person. Thank God that I have brought home the presidential ticket. So I also poured out my heart, essentially referencing that famous or infamous, however you're looking at it, Abeokuta speech. The most important task is to get the people to vote for me in the 2023 presidential election. We need to take this message to our people across communities and sensitize them to the need to vote in the general elections, he said. Reacting to this statement, some Nigerians were in disbelief about prayers being the only thing the national leader resorted to. Bear with me one moment. I'm just going to pause for a moment. Just bear with me one moment. I'll play you the Holy Holy song again. Sorry about that. So let me take that from that paragraph again. Reacting to the statement, some Nigerians were in disbelief about prayers being the only thing the national leader resorted to. Others commended the former governor for his resilience. So here is a sample of commentaries on Tinubu saying it was his prayers that eventually pushed things over for him. We also, when he went to Saudi Arabia and was banging his head against the rock or whatever it is they do there, so many distractions today. But so we also saw him go to Saudi Arabia when he was banging his head against the rock, as is their tradition in that space. So there's a Chris. This is what Chris says. He says, and God answered his prayers. The problem is now I don't know which God he's talking about. So this is Aminu Abdullahi Bawad, and this is what he wrote. You can't pay $25,000 to delegates and expect to fail. So that, of course, an inducement. They say prayer without effort is futile. So the prayers lubricated by $25,000 is what Aminu is essentially saying. This is what Samuel says. Nigerian political configuration is shared patrimony. I have already known the Don dealers. I don't know what this one is talking about. Tinubu is just trying to be modest. He will surely win 2023 presidential election. Mind you that Buhari is not Jonathan, who chickened out when the pressure was too much for him to bear. So I don't know what he's talking about, but I do know what he's talking about. So he's saying essentially fait accompli, even before the elections, that Buhari essentially will just rig Tinubu in, unlike Goodluck Jonathan, who buckled instead of to return himself. So here is Musa. He says, are you sure it is prayers that got you the presidential ticket? We need a better confession. Well, you don't really need a confession if you have been following the news, Musa, because everybody knows that that prayer was the John the Baptist, the forerunner to that prayer was $25,000. So $25,000 per person was the lubricant for that prayer. Finara Solomon is the next commentator. You succeed with prayers by God's grace, but make Lagos commercial nerve and extension of the federal territory. We are proud of you. So that's somewhat badly worded, but I think we get the gist of what he's saying. So he's giving the attribution to prayers as Tinubu is claiming, but he's then asking for a bias towards Lagos if Tinubu wins the presidency. So I was expecting many things, but I didn't think it was going to land on prayers when I first came across the headline. But it looks as though prayers then the attribution for its success. But a lot of people are saying the lubricant is $25,000 per person. Sanusi denies endorsing Peter Obi. So we just document this, but I'm not really going to have too much of a conversation around this. Not because it's just because I tire of it the way the conversations go. We will revisit Peter Obi severally, but in this instance, we just want to take a break from it because as soon as we go there, it just gets wild and out of control. The 14th Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, has denied a viral statement attributed to him on social media, endorsing the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. The statement, posted several times across different social media platforms, had chided the presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC Bola Tinubu and the People's Democratic Party PDP Atiku Abubakar. But in a statement on Monday, the chief of staff to the deposed Emir, Munar whatever it is, Bayero, said the former Central Bank of Nigeria governor did not author the article. The statement said, our attention has been drawn to an article circulating on the online media space analyzing the motives of the three presidential candidates in the 2023 election. So I'm not quite sure. I've not actually read that article. Maybe we should read that article. If I can find that article, I will read it. Because this denial, then we don't know the precursor to it to see what informs or what undertones we should even read into the rebuttal by the emir. So let me take it from top again. It says, the statement said, our attention has been drawn to an article circulating the online media, that should be on the online media space, analyzing the motives of the three presidential candidates in the 2023 elections. We would like to emphatically state that this was not authored by His Highness Khalifa Mohammed Sanusi II, as is being widely attributed. So Bayero is the name of his spokesperson. Bayero further clarified that the former CBN governor did not bear Sanusi Lamido Sanusi any longer. The statement added, consequently, given the need to set the records straight, we hereby state for the benefit of those unaware that the Khalifa is not officially referred to as Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, but as H.H. Mohammed Sanusi II. We also take this opportunity to encourage readers to scrutinize the information they find online to identify false and misleading information purported to come from eminent personalities and thought leaders. Whilst we restate that we have no affiliation to the article itself in any way, we staunchly continue to place our faith and trust in Allah to continue guiding His Highness as an elder statesman in his socio-economic advocacy for all Nigerians, Africans, and humanity in general. So there it is right there. So this is strike two now in 2 days succession. So we had just yesterday, what's it called? The governor of Anambra State debunking a story that went equally viral that Peter Obi abracadabra some 20 million investment to 100 million. And this was a claim that was attributed to Charles Soludo. This went viral and it's been regurgitated and recycled and mantra chanted all over social media. So for 2 weeks, this was running as a space and as an attribution, as an attribute that again enhances the profile of Peter Obi. And finally, then yesterday, it was debunked by the state governor. So this again, another instance of an endorsement by you see. I don't think people understand the weight of some of the peoples that are contending when they are referring to Sanusi. So where is it again? When they are referring to Sanusi rather as His Highness Khalifa Mohammed Sanusi II. You see this Khalifa that is being referred to as an appellation, as an attribution to Lamido Sanusi. This Khalifa is actually a position that he attained after he was deposed as the Emir of Kano. This Khalifa attribution is a religious leaning sort of, I don't want to say kingship, but it's a religious leaning sort of title that sweeps close to about 30-40 million people under his authority and crosses across the West African sub-region in that Sahel space. So this is even a more senior authority than the Emir of Kano, that Khalifa title that Mohammed Sanusi now straddles. So this is a very, very senior person within his own culture. And these people, of course, they know nothing about this. And he has transmuted, even in personage, from who he was into this now religious entity. But they're still saying that this is just the thing. But that is the thing, though. I hope that our caution is being advised to that space because it's somewhat starting to internally implode. But that's all I'll say about that space. We move on swiftly. Trouble in the APC as Adamu claims Lawan contested Yobe North senatorial primary. So here it is, another Fulani yam yam. Um, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, has claimed that Senate President Ahmed Lawan participated in the Yobe North senatorial primary. Recall that it was reported that Lawan had secretly purchased the senatorial nomination forms days after buying the party's presidential nomination and expression of interest forms. The Senate president also participated in the presidential primaries of the ruling party and lost the election to former governor of Lagos State Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, there has been controversy over the Yobe North senatorial ticket following the emergence of Bashir Mashina as the winner of the APC ticket. Mashina had insisted he remains the candidate for the senatorial district and threatened to approach the court to stop APC from submitting Lawan's name to INEC. Speaking with State House correspondents on Monday, Adamu stated that the Senate president participated in the senatorial election within the timeline. When asked how Lawan emerged as the party's senatorial candidate, Adamu said, "Don't get yourself in the court of law. Is it that you were told? Don't get yourself in the court of law. Is it that you were told of they are saying it? Or is I don't know what that means, so but that's in quotation marks. It says, is it that you were told, or they are saying it? It should read, or they are saying it. I don't have time for negativities. I don't just have the time for that. If you face me with positives, I have time for all of that. I will stand here and answer all your questions. I cannot respond to every speculation, particularly when they are negative, especially when they are by mischief makers. Is there any law that says when you contest an election and lost, you shouldn't contest another one? Go and find out from the person who is responsible for organizing the primary. I have done my bit. I do know in my honor that he did participate within the timeline. So there it is right there. So nobody understands that he did participate. The people that participated are not aware that he participated. There was no indication that he did participate in the Yobe North senatorial primary up to this moment now that Abdullahi Adamu has suddenly conjured that up as an assertion. So by just it's a bit like quantitative easing when they just magically create money. So he has just magically created that this guy participated in a primary that all the other contestants are not aware that he participated in. And he won that primary outside of the knowledge of other contestants, and his name has been submitted as the winner of that primary, much to the chagrin of the actual person that thought he won the primary. So this is what goes on. Abracadabra. Now you see it, now you don't. Babi magbabe, boju boju. So this now the last readout. Presidency under fire over confirmation of Abdul Salami's health status. Nigerians have taken to social media to slam the presidency over the announcement of the health status of ex-head of state, Abdul Salami Abubakar. Correspondents had earlier reported that the former head of state was flown out of Nigeria over health-related issues. There were speculations that Abdullahi had a special, that Abdul Salami rather, there were speculations that Abdul Salami had a partial stroke and was flown. There were speculations that Abdul Salami had a partial stroke and was flown to a hospital in the United Kingdom. However, presidential spokesman Garba Shehu has confirmed that the former Nigerian leader is sick and is currently in London. The presidential aide further stated that he is out of the hospital in London and in a private apartment, adding that there was no cause for alarm. In a tweet via his verified Twitter handle on Monday, Shehu added that the former head of state is his jovial self and is also concerned about the developments back in Nigeria. Following the development, some Nigerians took to social media to react to the health status of the former head of state and the challenges facing the Nigerian health sector. So this is Dr. Kamal Ayo, and this is what he says. Alhamdulillah, wishing him a quick and full recovery. I, I pray at Nigeria Gov has a change of orientation and invest in our health infrastructure back home. This is Mazi Chibuzo, and this is what he wrote. How much will it even cost the federal government to build just 6 international standard hospitals in the 6 geopolitical zones? How much? You guys keep making governance look like rocket science. So thank you, Chibuzo, for that. This is a thought that I've always had too. That Nigeria necessarily must have 6 of the very best possible imaginable hospitals in each of the one in each of the geopolitical zones within the country, and then to that 6, they need a bank of at least 10, because the 10 super hospitals, no, 6 super hospitals and 10 good standard hospitals spread right across the span of that geopolitical space so that the health of the country is covered. It's just so embarrassing that Tinubu is off to London to go and get his injection, off to America for an operation. Buhari lives part-time in a London hospital. Abdul Salami in a London hospital. Babangida goes to Germany for his own treatment. Akeredolu just came back from America where he underwent whatever. El Rufai. So what happens to and they do this. They actually make these announcements boastfully that yes, we can afford British health something. When you, it's just that. Anyway, you know where I'm going with that. Let's just sweep up a few more of the commentaries and then we come into the comment section. How many times the United States or United Kingdom, how many times the US and UK Prime Minister don't come Nigeria for medical trip? So this is Donatina 19 saying this. How many times the US and UK Prime Minister don't come Nigeria for medical trip? That is to tell you our health sector is very bad, that even the citizens can't even take care to treat themselves here. What it speaks to you, Nka. So I don't know what that means. That might well be a language I'm not familiar with. Another commentator, Alhamdulillah, may our government invest in our hospitals so that in emergencies like this, we won't have to fly to other nations for medical care. Amen. So I don't know why quite what an Alhamdulillah and Amen have in relationship, because I don't know if the sign off for the Islamic faith is Amen. I think that is a Christian space. So maybe this guy is trying to straddle both religions and act non-aligned. It started off with Alhamdulillah, which is of course of the Islamic faith, and then ended off with Amen, which is very much a Christian thing. So the next commentator, at times you need to be sensitive to the way masses feel about leaders seeking healthcare services abroad and filter some of these tweets. Our healthcare sector is dying, and on still they rub to our face. So that is just the thing. And they don't see anything wrong in it. It's really the real killer. Here is another one. I am Ashwaju one. It's this person. I wonder if it's Tinubu. May God perfect his healing. After 7 years of Buhari and APC, the former head of state couldn't be treated in any Nigerian hospital. Shame. So that is so say all of us. Another commentator, what's his business in London hospital? How many Nigerians can afford to go to London for treatment? The most unfortunate is that you are happily announcing this. So this is just, it's just so sad. The final commentator, wish him a quick recovery, but see how things are in poor conditions due to the negligence of our leaders. If General Abdul Salami, his predecessors and successors handled Nigeria honestly, he shouldn't be flown to London for treatment. Instead, he should be treated in Mina at his hometown. So there it is, and it's just so depressing when you read some of these things. But there it is right there, and here they are right here. The commentators, Ajanle Koko, I see you. Brownberry, I see you. World Peace, I see you. And Mr. Omorui, I see you. And Thomas, I see you too. So good to have you, gentlemen. So let me kick it off with you, Brownberry, because we've not heard from you in a good while. But really, a travesty. You just don't even know how to digest it sometimes. Boastfully telling us that he's gone to London to treat a stroke and is back in some expensive apartment and being jovial and concerning about Nigeria. So what about Mutiu in Mushin? What happens to him when he falls ill? What about Danladi in Damaturu? What happens to him when he falls ill? Who takes him to London? Who pays for that? What's going on, Brownberry?
My brothers, good morning, everyone. Morning, Mama. Thank you. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Well, vaguely, yeah, not clearly, I would say. We're not hearing you. Are you driving?
Let me take it off from the.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Hold on. I'm just taking it off now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit better. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. One man, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good afternoon from here.
It is a sorry state, what's happening in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is just too rich. Nigeria is just too, all this situation of saying Nigeria is poor. Nigeria is not poor at all. Nigeria is not poor because if you look at the money that they have embezzled, the money that have been stolen, that tells that Nigeria is very rich. Someone just stole 90 billion. We know what what the local government chairmen are stealing. The councillors will come to the House of Assembly, the governors. I mean, Nigeria has too much. But unfortunately we have leaders that are very selfish. They are not patriotic. That's what we have. We have leaders that have love for money that I don't even think when they steal so much money, I don't even think that is meta. That's not meta issue like somebody was saying recently. Okay? Because I don't see any reason why we cannot have good hospitals. We have the best doctors all over the world. We cannot have good hospitals and so that we also be paying them very well. It's just Jesus Christ. I don't know.
One of the commentators was saying that it was querying why Nigeria does not have at least 6 world-class hospitals, one in each of the geopolitical zones. And I'm querying that too. It's not because the country cannot afford it. I think we know that. It's not because the country does not need it. The country needs it. So why don't they have it? Why don't they have it?
That is the greediness that we are talking about. It's the greediness. And so sometimes I don't know how these wives and the husbands and the children of these politicians, how they are able to live, how they are able to go around without their head, without putting their head on, in the sand, their head in shame. I don't know, because Nigeria can afford to have world-class hospitals in all our local governments. Okay?
Nigeria is a wealthy country. Let's not make any mistake. Nigeria is a super wealthy country. It's not a poor country. It's a wealthy country.
We don't have enough military. We don't have enough police. Africa is falling now because Nigeria is falling. That's why Africa is falling. Okay? Africa is falling because Nigeria has fallen. And it's a shame and it's very sad.
You know what really
And
rankles.
if you look at most,
Go on. Sorry.
yeah, if you look at most people that are there, because sometimes people say, "Oh, when you go from diaspora, they will change everything." Most people that are in the House of that are in National Assembly, look at them. Most of them are foreigners. When I mean foreigners, they hold Western passports. You know, we know most of them, even from the speaker to a lot of even those that I know personally. Is either they are Germans, or they have German passport, or they have British passport, they have American or Canadian passport. They've lived abroad before. They know everything, but when they get there, they are still corrupt. They join them to steal. You know, I mean, I don't know what's going on with black people. I don't know. I don't know. All over the world,
It's just a thing, you know. Do you subscribe to the assertion that black people don't have the capacity to self-govern?
yes. I don't. I want to. You know, I don't want to, but I will, because at the end of the day, if you look at what is going on around, whether it's Caribbean, whether it's is in Africa, it is a shame. It's not that we are not smart. It's not that we are not doing well. You know, look at the video that was going around recently. I think it was a year ago, where Chinese people will come to Africa and be you playing with children and telling the children to be calling themselves names.
Monkey
You know,
land,
and they will go. They will go. You know, so we look at that. You know, yes, they are saying that, oh, that we have low IQ, but do we really have low IQ? The reason why those Chinese people are saying that, because we refuse to develop our people. Our leaders refuse to develop the people.
Do we not have? No, we can't say we have low IQ, but are we at the level of the of other races? Can we honestly say that we are at the level of other races? We've never
Not at
demonstrated
all.
the capacity to self-govern ever.
No,
You know, and
not at all.
it's just a travesty, and they are flexing. He's going to the former head of state of Nigeria military, even though it's good, and they are flexing about it. They think it's something to boast about.
Why is the state house? I mean, why are they the one that is posting it? Is he a president, or I don't understand? Why will it concern the spokesperson of the president to be posting that?
No, he's entitled to medical treatment abroad as a former head of state. So as they are responsible for his security, physical security, so for his health security and other securities that matter to him, you know, health security, he will be taken to anywhere in the world. The best treatment that can keep him alive is what they will provide for him. So he's entitled to it as a former head of state. All the former head of state, Buhari, Babangida, Obasanjo, all of them that are still alive, including Gowon, all of them are entitled to that medical treatment.
Sorry, Ajanle Koko, where does which country does Joe Biden go to for his own medical needs?
That's a good question.
I know Boris Johnson, he goes just to the hospital
in his county. It's the country that Joe Biden goes to is America.
There it is. You know, we cannot. It's just a ridiculous thing. We can afford the hospitals. We have the medical staffing to staff it. We have the need for it, but we don't have the hospitals. It's just it's only in Nigeria. But so there it is. The frustration is real. I have to tell you, Brownberry. But let me take you quickly from go on.
I wanted to say that for Kigami, we need, like I always say, what do we really need? Do we need democracy? What do we really need? Okay, when you look at what Kigami is doing, nobody's complaining. Nobody's complaining apart from those that are, those that the Westerners are sponsoring to blackmail him. So I don't know.
Do you think Africa, since you've opened up that space, do you think Africa is suited to democracy?
Not at all. Democracy is too expensive, and we have so much corrupt people. So much corrupt people. That's just the issue.
Paul
Okay.
Kagame is turning dictator too. You know that he changed the constitution of that country. So, I mean,
him run again. To allow him run again.
Hold on, Ajani Koko.
This
Hold
is
on.
Museveni again. Museveni.
Ajani Koko, what do we need? Do we need economic development or we need democracy? Is he doing well? Are the people happy? That's the most important thing. All these, he's coming for third term. Oh, he wants to be there. If he's not doing well, there's no reason for him to be there. But if he's doing well, let him remain.
No, you see, democracy, if you have...
Ajani Koko, let's stop this democracy thing. He hasn't done us anything. He hasn't done us anything
now.
He hasn't done us anything.
We never succeeded at it in Nigeria.
Democracy.
Yeah, because you people allow criminals to take over your democracy from you. And that is why you have them in place, wrong leadership. And when you have wrong leadership in place on that democratic system, they won't run it well. So, but if you have good leadership that's submissive to the rule of law, that allow the rule of law, to operate, democracy will bring economic development and other development for the for that country and the people in particular. So, but when you have, and you people, it's the responsibility of the people to allow democracy to function well. Every leader, no matter where you see them, every human being in any part of the world, you see, they were selfish. But you have a system, but when you have a good constitution that works, constitution that is good for everybody, and leadership allow it to work well, you will democracy form of government is the best. But we don't have it. Look at our constitution. Does your constitution you have in that country, is it the right constitution for you? It's a fraudulent constitution. That's why your democracy is not working well for you people.
I think what we need is a benevolent dictator, not democracy. A benevolent dictator is maybe not the totality of Africa, but Nigeria certainly. Nigeria is not ready for democracy. Forget it. It's not ready.
It is
dictatorship. You don't want dictatorship at all. Dictatorship is not good. You want good constitution and the right leadership in place, that whenever they lose this election, they can surrender and allow a new person to come in. That's the way.
All right. Branberry, you add on to that, and then
I just want to say that what we really need is a patriotic government. That's what I always call the Chinese government, just a patriotic government. Everything is China first. Everything is Chinese first. Building the people, making sure the people become wealthy, making sure that the infrastructures are top notch. Okay, when you look at what they are doing in China, I mean, even America they have to bow when you look at the railway. I mean, the rail line and everything. So it's not that we cannot do it. We can do it. Copy and paste. That's how China started. Copy and paste. Okay. So I don't know. It's just sickening. I don't know.
All right. Let me take you to another conversational space, Brownberry. And really, the magic continues. It's still democracy, but Nigerian style, of course, Fulani style. Trouble in APC as Adamu claims Lawan contested Yobe North senatorial primary. So this is certainly news to me, and almost more importantly, news to Bashir Mashani or Mashina, who won that senatorial ticket duly, having not contested against Lawan. But suddenly now, just by pronouncement, Lawan was in the race after all and won. So what do you make of this? It's just the most bizarre. This guy, the APC chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, and alone, it's an entity. We've never seen it like this before.
The power tussle has already begun, between Adamu and Tinubu. The part also already began. Okay, so that it started right from that day of primaries, because Tinubu is trying to make sure that Lawa doesn't come back. Okay, so that is where this thing is going to be. They are going to fight to the finish, because at the end of the day, INEC has to come out as well. INEC has to come out. INEC was there that day. They observed it. They have to come out and tell us who was the winner, who was there, and who was on the ballot. Because all these situations where where the state chairman will just come and bring out any name. Okay, so that was why INEC was there. They went there to how they call it, to inspect,
to monitor, yes,
to monitor. So they were there. They know the name of the person that won the APC primary senatorial election. So they have to come out and tell us.
If it was a selection process, then what was the purpose of the whole exercise? If you could just randomly select as you will, then they did not. It's just it makes a farce of the whole.
Yes. So on that one is a fight. That if Bola Tinubu wins, I know if Bola Tinubu wins, I don't think Adamu is going to spend 6 months there. They are just going to kick him out because it's been a nuisance.
Do you think they should kick him now sooner rather than later? Because this is strike 2.
They should kick him. They should kick him out.
It's going to cost them the election if they don't kick him out soon.
No. They kick him out soon. It might cost them the election. They should leave him after the election. If they wins, they will kick him out. And look at what is going on in PDP. Sherman said that if Atiku wins, if anybody from the north wins, he's going to leave. And nobody's talking about that. And the Sherman is still there. I don't know what's going on in Nigeria. He said he's going to leave, and the Sherman will come to the south. What's still going on? The Sherman is still there. And these people from the north, they are taking us for a ride, man. Doing whatever they like.
All right. But I think because that Adamu Abdullahi, it strikes me especially as an extremist, and his extremism is about tribe and religion.
Oh yes.
I think he's happy to throw Tinubu under the bus to have a yeah.
He said it. He said it when they were having the fight with Jonathan. He said when it gets to them, they are going to keep it forever. So they know what they are doing. Even they are all even Buhari, they are all working for Atiku as far as I'm concerned. They are all working for Atiku.
Yes. A lot of people feel that, but we'll see how that play out. But if they do that, then I don't think the South will wear it easily. And with the Senate president not coming out, with all of these shenanigans going on, to come out and assert the authority of his position and the integrity of INEC, because that story has been in play now for going on 3-4 days, going on a week, that they uploaded a name that is not the name that won the thing, and he's not taking a position.
And INEC is not coming out to say, no, this man wasn't there, this man was there. INEC, they are just controlling INEC.
Can I interject? Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I thought they issued the guy the certificate of return. The guy that won APC.
The Bashir something.
Yeah. INEC already issued him certificate of this thing, whatever the certificate they issued them when you win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I don't understand. If the guy participated and he won the election, the primary, and INEC issued certificate of return, now
then INEC has spoken.
Hold on,
now they said they submitted Lawa's name. So who they submitted to? So they're not going to have one name in one.
They uploaded it onto the INEC portal because that's what INEC requested. That by Friday, by the 17th, all names that are going to be contested in the elections must be uploaded onto the INEC portal. And then they left this guy's name out and uploaded Ahmed Lawan instead.
Anyway, they're going to give that position to PDP or any position in that state, because
INEC can strike them out of that election.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
From one constituency, it's going to be difficult. 2 names. Well,
it's unbelievable. But sorry, Ajale Koko, you wanted to come in. I think
INEC spoken earlier. I don't know if you remember one man, like 2 days ago, you read it out here that INEC said that whoever does not participate in primary, names to not be submitted to them. I don't know if you remember. I remember. You read it out here. And they spoke like 3 days ago. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But you know, if INEC strikes Ahmed Lawan's name out, and the deadline for uploading names was the 17th, they cannot then substitute it with Bashir. So that means they won't have a candidate in that senatorial seat, APC, because the time would have lapsed for them to submit a name.
One man.
Yes, Mr. Murray.
Can I interject briefly?
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, it's not the duty of INEC to dabble unnecessarily into the internal runnings of parties. That one is crystal clear in our constitution.
Right.
But the gentleman has two options. Either he waits quietly for Lawa to go on with their Lawa and their so-called chairman to go on with their current shenanigans, come on later to reclaim his position through the court, or he fights the battle right now. Whichever way he's going to win, he's going to win. Remember what happened to Amechi and Umeya in Rivers State.
But
remember what happened to another gentleman.
Hold on, because we are under a new electoral law now. So, but he might not be able to reclaim that slot. Is what's being suggested, Mr. Omoruyi, because INEC had already requested.
If he has the certificate of return.
But his
if he
name
has the certificate of return.
No, his name was not uploaded. So INEC cannot make provision.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So long as he has the certificate of return from INEC and he duly contested the primaries while Lawa was struggling for his presidential race.
Don't go too far. What was the purpose of the deadline set by INEC if it doesn't matter?
For candidates to emerge. It is also possible for the party to feature the wrong candidates. So they can say whatever name they have there, do their shenanigans and go on. The man will always reclaim his victory from the court. That is my position.
All right, but there's no, hold on. We don't want to make it. Just let's stay steady with it. That is your position, but what is being suggested is that INEC requested that everybody must submit the names of their candidates that are contesting every elective post by Friday the 17th via uploading it onto the INEC portal. So if INEC uploaded Ahmed Lawan's name, and then if APC uploaded Ahmed Lawan's name, and INEC then through their own check-ins find that that name is not the name that they recognize at the monitoring of the primaries, they are going to strike that name out, but INEC is not under any obligation to then replace it with Bashir Ahmed or Bashir whatever, or allow him to be replaced. So they will just strike Ahmed Lawan out and void APC in that senatorial seat.
Yeah, INEC might not have the authority to do that. That's what I'm saying. That's where the legal angle comes in, the legal perspective comes in. So right. If INEC is duty bound to accept the chairman, the candidate's name from the chairman of the party, which they have done right now, INEC may want to turn a blind eye to what is happening. Why the gentleman goes to court? At the end of the day.
No, why does INEC monitor the primaries?
The Supreme. Is it the first time they are doing it? Is it not to do every time?
Oh, okay, so if they monitor, and why do they issue certificate of returns?
Have you not seen a primary parallel? Have you not witnessed parallel primaries in Edo as I speak to you right now? In PDP, what they had all across Edo for their senatorial, House of Rep, and the House of Assembly, were all parallel primaries. So, this one will claim I have INEC monitor my primaries. The other one will claim same thing. So, that is where the court comes in at the end of the day to clarify these legal intricacies.
Mr. Murray, to add to what you just said about that, just add to what you said that Edo. Yeah, same thing is going on in the Edo State. That in Edo State, the Obaseki faction, the National Working Committee and the state chairman, according to the new electoral law, must be monitored must be organized at the National Working Committee and state party, which monitored opposition fraction. Now, Ogbede Yama fraction, he now had Jack Isaac arrange his own delegate to do his own primary.
We're struggling to hear you somewhat. Can
you get?
Carry on. Let's see what we make of it. Carry on.
Okay, so now when they got the date of primary, there was a court that primary for between Vicky and Vicky. There was a court injunction to stop opposition fraction. So if opposition have allowed the delegate to vote, it will go against the court injunction. That will affect election primaries. Then if it doesn't, that gives validation to Ogbede Yama delegate. So that's the problem they have right now in those states.
Oh, all right. Oh, all right, brilliant. So let's get back to Brownberry. Brownberry, round off that space, and then I want to move the conversation out to Thomas for reasons of time. So Brownberry, back to you.
I want to. Which other topic do you have? I don't. I think you've already.
All right. Let me move the conversation on to Thomas, and then if we still have time at the end, you can interject, of course, if you have to insert something into the conversation. But let's go on to Thomas Brownberry for reasons of time. Thomas, let me take you to the space then. Tinubu attributing the reasons why he won the APC primaries to prayers. He had given up, he said, but he resorted to prayers, and prayers came through for him. Those prayers, a lot of people are cheekily, mockingly saying, very much lubricated by $25,000. But what are you making then of prayers answered for the Jagaban of GBT? Thomas. All right. If Thomas is not there, can you take that on then? Let's go on to Enigmatic. You take that on. So, but thank you, Thomas. Enigmatic, you take that on. Did you hear the question and you want to address it?
Okay. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. First, let me start with Adamu's role in APC now. Should I go there, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. Well, I'm very surprised that a lot of people do not actually know who Abdullahi Adamu is. If you care to know, go and check the history of that man. He has never represented anything democratic. He was in Abacha's regime. He's in that position for a reason. But the reason why the primary reason he's in that position now, number one of those has been defeated. One of the first assignment, the only assignment he has, number one, is never to allow Tinubu to get the primary of the ticket, to get the presidential, primary ticket. That has been defeated. Number two, he's working in cahoots with the cabal, with the presidency. So it's like the eye of the presidency in that place. And then number two, in the eye of the law, no matter how you take it back and forth, Machina is the rightful owner of that presidential ticket, of that senatorial ticket. Whatever Adamu is doing now is doing it just to pacify Lawan, one, and then to test the impunity if it can actually go through. Remember, everything he's doing now between himself and Lawan, and then putting APC under the bus is ultra-virus to the new electoral law as amended. And then because Machina is the rightful owner of that senatorial ticket now, he participated in the primaries. He has documentation, for that primaries showing he was returned. And then INEC observers were there in person. So INEC cannot jump the gun. What he needs to do is what he's doing actually. Every party can send they can send a snake's name, they can send a cat's name, they can send any name to INEC. INEC has has the right to accept all those names. Now it behooves on INEC to wait on the rightful owner to come and challenge it. If Machina goes to court, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be stricken out one time. So Lawan is fighting a big cause.
Okay, so if Machina wins in court, how will INEC then be? How would they substitute the name Lawan with Machina? Because APC will quickly go to court again to say that INEC set a deadline, which they duly observed. If APC then, through their own lack of professionalism or fraudulent ways, they are now in this position, then they should just strike them out of that space completely.
No, they cannot be stricken out based on the fact that you cannot build, something on nothing. So Abdullahi and Lawan, they are basically building their houses on nothing now. They don't have a foundation for that, right? That's what I'm saying. Under the law, Lawan is not recognized. The only presidential election under the books of INEC now that they know Lawan participated in is the presidential primary election, which he lost. So if he had an agreement, right, let's assume without concealing that he had an agreement with Machina that you're going to be a placeholder, you're going to be holding forth for me. If I lose in the presidential, I come back to this. But, remember again, it takes you back to the new electoral law. For you even to have a consensus candidate, for you to consider, okay, I'm stepping down, it must be in writing. 3 different factors must come into play for Lawan to be the rightful owner of that ticket. 1, if that primary election was not held properly or does not, fulfill the certain provisions of INEC by way of no INEC observer being there, by not having a return ticket, and by not having the rightful senatorial district to be held to hold the primaries. Everything was checked. He passed all those ones. Number 2, by way of death, Machina is still alive. It's not dead. It's not late yet. Number 3, if Machina himself, voluntarily steps down for Lawan, that you cannot just say orally, I'm stepping down for Lawan. It should be in writing, and you have to come out to say, okay, this is what I'm doing. Or you have to be at
the key question is was Lawan's name on the ballot for that primaries.
Lawan does not even have it. He did not even procure
so how can he step down for Lawan? Because
that's what I'm saying.
He came first, some person will come second or third. So if he's stepping down, then the person that came second would he can't step down and hand his mandate to
one man. That's what I say. Under the law, even if they go to court, Lawal is not even in the equation at all. It's not even in play. The only guy who is in play now is the runner-up, right? If Machina steps down, the runner-up will take the battle against Lawan. That okay, Machina has stepped down, but you do not have a local standard in this case because I'm the runner-up. So I'll be claiming that position since Machina doesn't want it. So Lawal is not in play. And why is Lawal desperate? Because he knows he's fighting against the tide now. Look, there was I don't know if you guys can see one interview that was granted to one APC guy yesterday. I've been hearing this for a long time. Lawal cannot win, an election by himself within that senatorial district. He doesn't go back home. He stays in Abuja. He lives in Abuja. His governors win primaries for him, while his other senatorial colleagues, colleagues in the Senate, goes back to fight their primaries. He stays in Abuja. His governors win primaries for him. But the situation now is Maimala Buni is in Tinubu's camp now. The governors are working with Tinubu, and don't forget Lawal has issues with Tinubu, right? With Lawal. Then Adamu is on Lawal's team. So when you have problem with the APC governors, and they control the structures in the state, they will frustrate you. So Lawal is the poster boy. Machina is the poster boy for the team that Lawal and Adamu is fighting against. Now it becomes who blinks first. At the end of the day, Lawal will not return to the Senate if Machina, under that clause, if Machina does not chicken out, right? If he
Do
chicken out,
you think he can withstand the pressure, Martina? Because it was somewhat, the last interview that I saw, it was quivering at the lips somewhat. It looked as though the weight of the pressure.
you should know the pressure that is against him, bro. You know Lawal. You know Lawal is. Do you know Lawal is almost? It's almost APC's presidential flag bearer. Do you know Lawal is the consensus candidate of the cabal and the presidency? So it's like he's fighting against who he is supposed to have been the APC presidential flag bearer now. So he's fighting against against Buhari. He's fighting against them, Mama Daura, and all those establishments in APC. So he's fighting a big cause. So why he's still there now is because he has some other people behind him, like Jagaban. Because Lawan is if somebody said Adamu should be kicked out under the normal political arrangement, they will not kick out Lawan now, Adamu now, because election is close by. They need the whole house in full force to go into the war. But I can bet you, right, the first assignment that APC, the first assignment they will actually come out with is when they win the election is get Lawal out of the way first, because the governor doesn't like him. Remember, Lawal shot himself in the foot and he played even against his fellow colleagues in the National Assembly. Did you see the turnout of the losses in the legislative primaries? More than half of the red chambers are not coming back. More than 100 in the green chambers are not coming back because of Lawal. Because Lawal was orchestrating some deal, with the executive by shooting them in the feet, that you cannot even be a delegate.
What are you making of the suggestion that this guy is actually is covertly working for Atiku? Because, like you say, it's a fundamentalist and an extremist, and he has no view outside of tribe and religion. So I don't think the thought of a Tinubu presidency is what something that Abdullahi Adamu can bear. But the thought of Atiku, he will stomach. So do you think it's actually an Atiku secret agent?
Look, Adamu, until recently, he was a two-term governor under PDP. He was a minister under PDP. He was everything under PDP until he came to APC, right? And there's a reason why Buhari made him a consensus candidate for the APC national chairman position. So if he's working with Atiku, I don't doubt that. But this fight is now bigger than even Adamu. Why do you think there are things we cannot say for classified reasons? Why do you think Atiku is back in Dubai now? Look, there's one thing that is very clear in this election, and I said it earlier before. Buhari may not like Tinubu, but he has no choice now. The Kabas may not like Tinubu, but they have no choice now. The only way they could have played Tinubu out.
So why is Atiku back in Dubai then? What are you reading into that? He lives in Dubai, so
the election, the PDP is having issues. PDP is imploding, right? And then what they accused Atiku of the last time, that immediately after he lost the election, he jettisoned the party, he moved out. It was Wike and a couple of folks, that held the party together. Now he's seen some other things. These people have covert intel about even what will come out of a certain election. The election is not here yet, but already some of them already know the result of the election. No matter what they play, no matter the game, they already know APC we have national. Yes. Ajale Koko, please let me land. I won't stay too long.
8 months of the election, they already know the result of the election.
Ajale Koko, we all know how Nigeria election. We all know how the system plays in Nigeria. We may not say, okay, this is going to be the result, but some certain elections are just mere formality. They are just mere. Buhari is not Jonathan. Buhari is not going to be an incumbent president. He may not speak, he may not do much, but he's not going to be an incumbent president that his party will lose while he's in office. And they know what awaits them.
Look at what is happening in Delta State today now. Are you aware Okowa had to call Orubebe directly? Orubebe has left PDP, and a lot of people are leaving. I told you the other day that Ibori is working covertly with Omagege. And don't forget the fact that in PDP Southeast, Abaribe left. You know the weight of Abaribe in PDP. Ekremadu is here, not there, in PDP. So a lot of people are looking at their political, future, and Atiku coming back from nowhere to snatch that ticket again from them has a lot of problems with APC now, with PDP now, because a lot of people feel slighted about that. Like you were the reason why PDP lost the last time, because you pulled out a lot of heavyweights. You came back from nowhere, you snatched your ticket. Then you come back again from nowhere, you snatch the ticket all over again. So this is not going to go down. And like I said, most of these politicians, we may be having.
Do you believe that Atiku lost the last election? You think he lost? You think Atiku lost or was rigged?
No. Do we really have elections in Nigeria?
Well, no. I'm just asking a question. No, I'm asking a question. Do you
said it here before.
That he lost or rigged the election?
I've said it here. You guys underrate Buhari. Everybody knows Atiku flogged Buhari in that election.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to say.
You kept saying you are saying that he lost. The people were mad. The party were mad with him, and I'm just trying to let you know he didn't lose. It was rigged.
Okay, but who is the president? That's what it is. But the thing is, what I'm trying to tell you, like, this guy left 4 years prior to that.
Are you saying they're going to rig it again in favor of Tinubu? Is that what you are saying?
They might not, though, because people feel they've promised Atiku to return his mandate in 2023.
Well, let's see how it goes. But from what I know, right? From what I know, there are so many things going on behind the scene now, and there's a little way you can even make some certain deals, because things are crossing. I's are being dotted now, and T's have been crossed. Okay, I know it's 8 months before the election, but I remember a certain election in my state because my dad is one of those. So when the election was almost a year to that time, right? The governor already knew how it's going to pan out. They already know what's going to happen. They already know what PDP is bringing to the floor. Do you know this recent election in the state? Do you know some certain heavyweights in PDP worked for APC? Why do you think there is no single National Working Committee member in APC in PDP come to campaign for the candidate of PDP in Ekiti State? Why do you think so?
Do you know that to be the case? Because I don't know that to be the case.
Yeah, do you know the purported, let's say the purported leader of PDP in Ekiti State is Fayose, and you know Fayose is in Wike's camp, and Fayose is covertly, as they say it now, working with Tinubu or working for AP. So there are so many things that are going on now, because most of these guys, they know what will happen eventually. And they are trying to stay safe.
Sorry, Enigmatic. Let me just hold you to that space, because you opened up a thought there.
Yeah.
Do you think the PDP southern space, they will covertly, as you've just suggested, work for, especially the Yoruba ones? Do you think they will covertly work for Tinubu? Do you think somebody like Makunde will push hard for Tinubu not to win?
Let me give you a little scenario that will answer your question, right? When it was almost getting embarrassing that they are not having any foot soldier on the ground, they raised an 81-member team, right, to see what they can do in Ekiti elections. Makinde was selected to be the leader of that group. Makinde was here in Houston. He was telling them he was going to coordinate via Zoom. When they asked him why, he said the presidential candidate who was supposed to be there, like Tinubu and 14 other governors for APC, where is he? The guy was in Dubai, right? So if Atiku could say he's delegating somebody to do that for him in Ekiti State, but I'm not delegating anybody to do that for me, but I'm going to be doing that via Zoom. So that should tell you what is going to happen. Sheyi Makinde, we only deal to say, okay, I'm going to keep my mandate. Let me have my PDP state. Let me have my second term. Every other thing, you can have it. This is politics. It has happened in my state. It has happened in every place that I know. They will make a very sound deal. Let me keep my state. Let me win my second term. And then anything you want, I'll just look away. It happens every time in politics.
All right, well put. So thank you, Enigmatic. I'll come to you again, but let me make sure that I have touched every voice, and let me go to Zach, who hopefully is not in the gym this time. So Zach, are you in the gym again? What are you trying to build up for summer? What's going on, Zach? Okay, we've lost.
No,
Zach.
no. I'm listening to you guys. I'm enjoying you guys. So.
All right, brilliant. So good of you to join us.
Yeah, but one thing I want to say is people keep giving Buhari credit. You cannot, like, Buhari politically. Buhari is strong, and Buhari is a lightweight. It's people around him that are working. Buhari doesn't know anything. They just keep believing that Buhari is strong politically. Buhari is strong politically. It's a lie. Buhari cannot do anything. Look at the primaries that just finished. He said he wants his own consensus candidate. He came out again. All the governors should go and talk. They should allow him to do this. They should allow him to do that. At the end of the day, nothing like that happened. Buhari doesn't know anything. The Northerners are the one. People around him are the one working. Even though the work they are doing, Buhari doesn't know. Let's forget about all this. Buhari do this. Buhari is doing this.
Let me tell you something, Zach. Buhari is a master stroke politician person. What Buhari does is he ignores all the mass of the politics, and he just politics to a very small circle rather. So Buhari controls. He installs somebody that will listen to his voice, Tanko Mohammed, as the Chief Justice of the country. He installs somebody that will listen to his direction, Abdul Malami, as the Minister of Justice. And then the police is in his hands. The electoral, we saw what he did in 2019. So he controls INEC. So he only needs to control about 4 or 5 spaces, and then he will decide who becomes the president, which he does. So don't worry, Buhari will decide who will be president. That's just it.
Oh, okay. So Buhari decide that Tinubu will be the presidential candidate, right? Is that his will?
No, that's not his will. Anyway, Tinubu forced that space with Isabel.
Okay, so why? So as a president, why can't he do that? Because he said he wants a consensus. Why can't they listen to him?
All right, we'll see how it plays out. But I think
you are misunderstanding. You are misunderstanding the concept. You are misunderstanding the concept, bro.
Okay, all right. I'm just listening to you guys. For me, I don't see anything strong about Buhari.
Nobody is saying Buhari is strong. You are getting it wrong. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Do you know why the current what is this Tanko Mohammed is having issues now? Do you know why?
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the election that is coming. Because he has 2 sons. One of them now.
Everything about peace is all about himself. He's a selfish, he's a greedy politician.
We know that, bro. We are not talking about.
Look at what
no, that's not what we are talking about.
That's not what we are talking about. Listen, bro. Let me tell you something.
We're not in that space.
We are not in that space. What I'm telling you is,
we understand all of that, Mr. Mauri, but we know it's a selfish, and so that's not where we are. But carry on, enigmatic. Yeah. Carry on, enigmatic. Have we lost you as well? All right, back to you then.
So what I'm
go on, enigmatic. Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
Zach, just a second. What I'm telling you is, like I said something the other time, right? They said it is incumbent upon the incumbent government to lose an election. That they would rather fight it through Supreme Court, and Supreme Court tell you go home than losing the election. Buhari does not need to go to the field. He doesn't need to it's just Tanko Mohammed. When the case comes to you, this is the decision. Who controls INEC? Who controls Mahmoud? Who controls all the AIG, all of them? So it is 2015 election was Jonathan's to win. He lost it because he wanted to lose it. So go and ponder about that and know what it means.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Buhari is not that kind of politician. Buhari is not that kind of politician.
No. Well, Guy, I'm going to have to let you go, man. We don't do that. Come on, man. Yeah. Sorry, Zach. Carry on.
Yes, I agree with him on that one. But what I'm just saying is, they give Buhari a lot of credits, and I'm not saying what he's doing. Maybe that is his own strategy. That's the way he operates. But this primaries that just happened in APC that just passed, it shows that people don't listen to Buhari because he said he want this, he want that, but they don't listen to it. At the end of the day, Tinubu still outplay all of them. So where is the voice of Buhari in that primaries? That is what I'm saying. Because if they listen to him, if they respect him the way they claim that they respect the president, and if Buhari said, okay, this is who I want to use, I believe that they should be able to listen to him. But at the end of the day, Tinubu has played all of them.
Tinubu himself said he doesn't even expect to win. Do you know why he said that? Do you know what actually killed the consensus candidature? Because of the electoral law, the new one. Because if you have to throw up any consensus candidate, it means you have to force Tinubu to sign the paper. You have to force him to come to the podium and say, I'm stepping down for Lawan. Which they know that Tinubu will never do. Look, primary is gone. The politics of primary comes and is gone. Now, the presidential flag bearer of the national party, of the ruling party, is who? So, who is the president? Do you know what? Do you know some? Have you seen some moves that Buhari is making? Have you seen the ministerial list recently? Do you know some moves?
I know that's it. I mean that has
all right. Enigmatic. Let Zach respond. So yeah. Also take back that space. You were.
Yeah. So I know the new ministerial list. Of course, it's all about politics. We all know he's trying to favor the southeast. So that's the reason why he's playing that kind of politics.
Yeah. Why do you think he's trying to favor the southeast, Zach?
Yeah, because he's trying to let them know that we are part. You guys are part of us too, because of the election that is coming. He's trying to bring them in, and that will favor the APC during the presidential election. If we don't have election, if election is not coming next year, Buhari will not do that. Everybody know Buhari will not do that. Buhari is a core north guy. He always favors the north. It's because of the election that is coming. That is why he puts the Igbos there, and he put only one guy from the north. Everybody know Buhari doesn't operate like that. So that's politics playing. So, but for me, I just believe that whatever they are doing, we should just try and support the good candidate. Enough of all this.
Can I interject on this particular?
Yeah, Coming Brownberry. Yeah.
I don't understand why people are saying that he's doing it because of. Do you know how many Igbos resigned and went to contest for president? So he's just giving them their seat back. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. There was no southwestern. Brother,
we've seen situation where Igbo man or in this Buhari's government that they remove Igbo man and replace him with a northern person.
Several Igbo man. It's like you don't know Buhari. Look at
no. That's a different case. Each state has a minister. Okay, so if Minister of Education left, Minister of whatever the other guy, Amechi left, and I think it's about 4 of them from the south. There was no one from the southwest that left. Neither is there anyone from the north that
has never stopped Buhari in the past. They will just and even now that he only has about 8 months left, and he shouldn't really care anymore. He would have just got. If it wasn't for 2023 politics, it would just the whole list will be Fulanis.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. What led to Tanko? Before Tanko was there, the guy that was there before, that Oshibanjo installed, as the Supreme Court judge, they remove him and they put Tanko.
They bypass laws. That was I've forgotten his name. The law
Onoge.
Onoge.
Yeah.
So the law says that the next in line should be the one
that
takes the seat.
Oh,
and they
exactly.
got rid of him. and they put this guy there that is just looting the money. The first time that we're seeing judges, the
Thank
Supreme
you.
Court protesting.
Why
So
is
that
like that? So
he
it's
doesn't
because of
care.
the election that is coming. That's it.
All right. Thank you. So, Zach, let me take you to the space I wanted to take you to. Tinubu attributing his victory to prayers. So, what are you then making there now? Prayers answered.
Yeah, that's the typical Nigerian, the way we do things when we are in this kind of situation, because we know that we are very religious people. So we have to run to like it's prayer, because he knows that Nigerians will really, understand that aspect, because we are very religious people. Everybody know what Tinubu did. He spent a lot of money on delegates and all that. So it's not about prayer. He's just taking advantage of the religion, how deep Nigerians are when it comes to religion. So when he said that, at least the religion part
was that a
of the
political?
country,
Was that a campaign move? Are you suggesting?
of course, it's a campaign move, because
we knew it was $25,000, no more
of
than
course, it's a campaign move, and when it comes to campaign, Nigerians are very sensitive people when it comes to religion. So he's saying that it was prayer. He's trying to talk to that part of Nigerians that believe in religion, and they will say, yeah, it's prayer. But we all know that he spent a lot of dollars in that election, that primary. So that's the typical thing for you from Tinubu. We all know him now. He's going nowhere.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Zach. Stay with us. So, Zach, let me go on from you to let me go to World Peace, and then I'll land on Ajanle Koko. So, World Peace, or do we still have you? No, we don't have World Peace anymore. So, let me go to Mr. Omorui. So, Mr. Omorui, now you have the floor. So, to the space, let me take you to the space. The Adamu space. Let me take you to the Adamu space. Trouble in APC as Adamu claims Lawan contested Yobe North senatorial primary. So this is news not only to you and I, but more so to the Yobe senatorial North primary, because it was contested and they did not see Lawan there, but just by pronouncement now, he's telling us that he did buy the form, he did contest, and he did win. So I've never seen politics like this before, but then of course, Abdullahi Adamu brand. What are you then making of that Yobe space, Mr. Murray?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Woman, for giving me this opportunity. My greetings to my fellow panelists and our viewers across the globe. Like I started the other day when I was on this show, I said the greatest dangers we have, the greatest threat we have to our democracy today are these two men called Adamu and Iyocha Ayu. They are succeeded in taking us 30 years backward in our democratic development. They have succeeded in taking us back to the days of Obasanjo, when people said it was a nascent democracy, the military mentality, the dictatorial mentality. Well, if you see what play out from both JPC and PDP, you don't need a prophet to tell you that our democracy, the little one we have, the little achievement we have tried to achieve over these years, have been completely eroded by these two gentlemen. Starting from PDP, the jettison of their zoning arrangement to favor Atiku. There was a day Yocha Ayu was making a statement, said, I will not support you. I knew that was a gimmick. I knew he was saying directly the opposite. So back to the Adamu issue. Somebody, described him as a dictator. He's not far from that. He's one of those, military boys. He's not hiding it. But this one, I think he's taking dictatorship too far in a democratic process. He's not going to succeed. You cannot build something on nothing. And he's not going to stand. Like I said earlier, when I interjected one gentleman, no matter what he does, he's not going to succeed. Two things. Either that gentleman, Machinda, or whatever he's called, that stood for the primaries, if he has the certificate of return from INEC, either he looks at them quietly while they are doing their rubbish, their shenanigans, he comes up later to say, I'm reclaiming my mandate. He's going to get it. Or he fights for his mandate now, either by hook or by crook, he's going to get it. If he has the courage to continue, what he needs now is the courage to face the cabal. Whoever that is standing for for Lawa right now, being it Mohammed Buhari, being it their chairman from Nasarawa State, or whoever the cabal is, they're going to fail. Ab initio, because you cannot build something on nothing. He did not contest the primary number 1. He has no certificate of INEC number 2. INEC did not monitor that primary where he had purportedly contested. So I don't know how they're going to do it. So it's like building something or nothing. It's not going to stand, and it's going to be an effort in futility at the end of the day. They're going to fail woefully. If the man, only if the man has the courage to continue what he's doing right now, he will get his mandate back from the court. No matter what they do to replace him right now, it's not going to stand the test of time. That's my humble submission.
And to the suggestion that PDP they have the window to sue that APC should forfeit their slot in that space, because INEC said to upload names. You uploaded the wrong name. So why should you then be given a second chance of a fraudulent act?
It's not about APC right now. If you talk of a human right, it's not about right of the bad, right of the good, right of the ugly, or right of the beautiful. It is called human right. It's all about his constitutional right as an individual. It's all about his constitutional mandate that has been stolen from him. He has every right to get it back through the court. It's aggrieved. The best way to address such grievances is through the competent court of jurisdiction.
All right, brilliant.
It's not about APC or PDP.
All right, and to Tinubu attributing his victory to prayers, what are you making of that? Tinubu saying it's his prayer that won.
That's very laughable. It's ridiculous. We all know what transpired in their primaries. He must be referring to the god of dollars or god of pounds. I don't know the god he's praying to. I'm not here to castigate anybody's religion. In as much as I salute his political sagacity and tenacity, man, he's not referring to.
We've lost you, Mr. Morui. Are you still? Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now. We can now. Carry on. We can hear you now. Carry on.
Yeah, I said that is laughable. It's very ridiculous. Yeah, it's very laughable for Tinubu to say he prayed to God. I wouldn't know the God he's referring to here. In as much as I respect his political sagacity and tenacity, I respect his, he's a big he's a heavyweight in Nigerian politics. But then I don't know the God he's referring to. That must be the god of dollar or the god of pounds. I wish they're ready to do anything to get what they want for themselves, but not for Nigerians. I wish they could fight for the country. I wish they could fight for the Nigerian masses the way they fight for power. That would have been very nice. I have nothing against his aspiration as a person, but I don't concur to his candidature because of his mental
We've lost
and
again.
Physical.
Yeah. All right. You are dipping heavily. I suspect you are driving. Are you driving?
I'm on the road, but I just pull over somewhere.
All right. Carry on. Round off your thoughts, Mr. Murray.
Yeah. He just to crown everything. I said he must be referring to the god of dollar, because we all know what happened. He prayed to his dollar. His dollar answered him, and the delegates got what they wanted. And again, I want to conclude by saying, I want to summarize by saying, if there's anything we have learned from this process, the delegate system is the worst thing that has ever happened to Nigerian democracy. I advise on this forum that we should go back to our option A4. A situation where few individuals get dollarized, or at the end of the day, to decide our fate, is not a good omen for our democracy. Thank you very much.
All right, brilliant. Well put. Thank you, Mr. Romori. Thank you for that. Excellently put. So let's go on then to Ajale Koko. Ajale Koko, so to you then, do you want to start off then with Buhari replacing the ministers that resigned? But curiously, there's a heavy weight to the southeast. So he submitted about 7 names. from Abia, Akwa Ibom, Ebonyi, Imo State, Kano, Ondo, and River State. So this is contrary to the prejudice that we thought Buhari had traditionally, but it seems now to have suddenly found a love for the Southeast. What are you then finding? What are you making of Buhari's ministerial list, Ajale Koko?
Thank you, woman. Let me urge our listeners around the world, please click on the like button, share, and subscribe if you have not done so. I don't read any political meaning to it. What I think that is doing is just replacing their son that resigned due to their pursuance of their presidential ambition. For example, if we look at the East, we had Ogbonaya Onu. We have this, what's the name of this other guy? The
one for education.
Yeah, the one for education. Maybe there's another one. Yeah, I think there's another one too, in the position of Ministerial. So I think he just trying to replace them with their slot. Their previous slot in the ministerial list. So, and the one for, what do you call it, South, we have Amechi, and we have, what's the name of that one from Akwa Ibom, that one in charge of the NDDC. Akpabio, and another one. So that is what I think is doing. It's time to.
But traditionally, when anybody steps down, he just fullanies up the space.
Oh yeah, that's what he is. So, but because it's we're at 11th hour, towards the end of his administration, so I think he didn't want to do that. He want to be. He's trying to act right.
Yeah. Do you think this is his attempt to try and rebrand himself now to somewhat, as you said, in the 11th hour, to change the narrative somewhat as best as he can as he leaves office?
Oh yes, I think I will agree with you on that. He's trying to rebrand himself to make himself look as a man that believes in justice and fairness. Yes, you lost some of your sons in government, and we're replacing them with your sons again. So we wish he had been doing that since the beginning of his administration, because I remember when the Ogun State, the lady from Ogun State, the Minister for Finance, Kemi Adeosun, yeah, he replaced it with that Fulani lady that is still there. And they said, yes.
She was the one that appointed the accountant general, by the way. So
yeah.
Another Fulani. God.
So I don't read any the political meaning I read to that is that, look, your sons lost this position. Yes, we put your son back, some other of your sons back there. So it's just for justice and equity and fairness. So I don't think that he's trying to use it to placate their vote for APC. Even if he fool his ministerial destiny with Igbos, they are not going to vote for APC. No, they will never vote for APC. Not this time around. They have their son, Obi, that is they believe in now.
Is it Obi Kerereke? I'm surprised that's not turned into his something.
Yeah. They have their son, and the youth are really making.
Oh, don't start again.
Is that not a good song?
Don't start.
So they have their son Obi, and the youth are chanting loud about him. So Whether it's going to translate into vote for him, we'll wait and see. I watched a video yesterday, Okeremadu praising Okowa appointment, the vice president to Atiku, and he says they still remain in PDP, and he said they are going to work hard for PDP in the East. But let's see. Enigmatic was talking about the minority leader that crossed to Abga. It was because he couldn't have his way to secure for what do you call it, for governorship ticket. That's why he moved to Abga. But it's good. Let's see. I think he's a popular guy. He might win. But we have seen the politics that Abga play. Abga play local politics. When it comes to national politics, they align with PDP. So that is the way Abga play their politics. They always form alliance at the National Assembly with PDP. So Abaribe, who was a minority leader, is very close to PDP senators, and I believe that he will still work. They will still work with them, with PDP, at the National Assembly. So.
And to the Adamu space, the abracadabra, suddenly, apparently, silly us. We did not know all the while that Ahmed Lawan actually brought forms, contested the primaries, and won. This is now the new storyline. Abdullahi Adamu.
Adamu is just trying his best to favor, what do you call this guy?
Ahmed Lawan.
But he cannot have his way because the law is very clear. According to the INEC spokesperson, that man from the East, I can't remember his name, is a very...
Okoye.
Yeah, maybe Okoye or something. He was very categorical. He said that the new law states that whoever does not participate in primary can never have the ticket of the party. So it's very categorical on that. And with the news, new information that World Peace gave us, that they have given certificate of return, INES have given certificate of return to Machina. Yes. So Machina is the one recognized by INEC. So I don't see the way that the chairman, I don't know how he's going to manipulate this. I don't know how he will succeed, forcing Ahmed Lawan on the will of the people. I don't think he failed completely. So Ahmed Lawan will learn a lesson from this. He was deceived. I don't know how he thought that it's going to be possible for him to be imposed on the party when Tinubu already done since the beginning of the since the formation of the party. Tinubu have been building structure across the country. He sponsored a lot of National Assemblymen, a lot of governors, a lot of politicians around the country. So he has already built cross structure, and they have 14 governors in support of him prior to the APC primary. So I don't know what gets into his head, thinking that it could be forced on the people. So he lost it this time, and there's nothing he can do. He just have to learn a lesson from this, that Yoruba says, whoever, anybody kumedi akpofo. So he pursues 2 rats at the same time. He lost 2 of them. So he just have to pursue what do you call it, presidency, and he's trying to still keep his senatorial seat, which is not possible for him according to the electoral law as amended. So he just there's nothing they can do. It's very clear. Even that guy, if Ahmed Lawan, I mean, the chairman of the party, like, he can submit his name, he can do this, and he can impose. This guy just needs to go to court. And that's it. And ANEC will be there to stand with him that, yeah, is the nominee of the party. He's the one that won the election. He's the one we recognize. We are giving him certificate of return. That is it. So they have lost that. They've just, there's nothing they can do.
All right, Ajanle Koko, and briefly, just a short little comment on the Abdul Salami Abubakar narrative that Shehu Gaba was jocularly and just flexing on social media that yes, they've sent him to London for treatment and is in high spirits and whatnot, and Nigerians asking then that where should they go for their own treatment when they are ill. So what is even the meaning of that? Boasting that you sent your own former president to London. When Buhari has a cold, London. When Tinubu has a sneeze, London. Buhari, Babangida, Germany. Where do you and I go when we're ill in Lagos?
You go to Mushi General Hospital.
Babalago. We go to Babalago.
You go to Babalago.
You know, it's just, but really, it's an issue now. It's an issue.
It's a big issue. This, you know, what we are witnessing in Nigeria is a complete leadership failure. Leadership that have failed completely to manage the country well and to even to provide the basic amenities. Basic, just things that are basic. Good education for the children, health care for the people, health care facility for the people, good road. They fail. Electricity, all these are basic things that people should not suffer to enjoy at all. People should not suffer to enjoy it at all. They fail completely. And it's unfortunate that most of our people that are going through pains and suffering with respect to non-availability of all these facility will continue to vote for these people. Tinubu, for knee surgery, he traveled to London. And people will say that Tinubu run Lagos and govern Lagos State well. He has been in charge of Lagos for how many years now? 22 or 23 years.
Since 99.
Since 99. And they can't have a health facility that could do that. And we have the expert. We have the medical expert. We have all of them available. It's not, if we don't have the medical expert in place, if we don't have the medical officers and medical professionals, rather, it will be a different thing. We have them, but they don't provide this facility to work for the.
I've lost your Ajanle Koko.
Want to continually championing them. So it's just sad that this country, Nigeria, used to be. We used to have the best medical facility in the whole of Africa, the best in the 50s and the 60s. UCH was where the Saudi prince and king used to come for treatment. And it's we, black people, that treat them. The king, the royal family from Saudi Arabia, we were having the best of the best medical facility. What happened? Where did they go? There was a day when I took my car for oil change and, you know, at Firestone here, I met one woman, an African woman from Liberia. And we were talking. He said, oh, we said, yeah, I'm from Nigeria. He told me that, oh my God, he said the first time he came to Nigeria, I think that was in 78 or something like that. He said he come for medical treatment. So really, he said his doctor in this thing recommended that in Nigeria, he have connection with some Nigerian doctors where whenever they have complicity or complicated issue they cannot handle in Liberia, they will send them to Nigeria for treatment. He said when he landed at our airport and he saw the airport, he said, wow, he have never, that Murtala Mohammed airport, he have never seen such airport before. And then when the taxi did, he said the facility already arranged everything. He said they've sent driver to the airport, driver picked him up from the airport, and on the way to Ibadan. He said, my God, he said, I've never seen such an express. He said Nigeria was the first place that he saw highway. He said he'd never seen it ever before. And he had traveled to so many countries in Africa. He said it's Nigeria the first. He said when he got to Ibadan and he saw UCH, he said he was praying to God that, oh, can they have such thing in their country? He said, and when he got there, everything was well arranged, well organized, the best doctors, nurses, the facilities was fantastic. He said he went through that operation. Everything went well. They lodged him. After that, they took care of him in the hotel. When he got better, he told them, when they discharged him, he said, look, I want to stay here for another 2 weeks to enjoy vacation. He said he traveled from there. He went to Lagos. He said he saw a lot. You see, this woman was praising Nigeria. He said, oh, man, that was the best place I've never been to in Africa. But where are we today?
You should tell her to go again. Tell her to go now. And drive from Ibadan to Lagos. Tell her to go and do that again, you know?
He said the highway, he said it was a very, very good. He said the people were nice. It was, come and see the way this woman was praising us. The facility, the medical facility.
If she did go again, the only thing she will be able to report back is that the people are still nice. But outside of that, she will cry.
She will cry. She will cry.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate that we have all these people in place, and we, the people, to jettison them, we still honor them. They will still, praise them. And Tinubu is the best. This is the best. When they fail to put in place basic amenities, just basic, for God's sake, basic amenities, just basic. I mean, just basic. It's nothing big deal. Just let them run and leave the rest, for God's sake. So they fail, and they don't. The problem with us as people is that we are selfish people. We only care for our own interests and the interests of our family. We don't care for the interests of our larger community. And this is what reflects in our leadership. I always say here, what we see in our leadership is a reflection of who we are. And it's just unfortunate that this is what we have become today. It wasn't like that before. We used to have leadership that, love their country, love their people, patriotic people, like Obafemi Awolowo, like Nnamdi, all these people, like even Ahmadu Bello. They love their people and they make things work for their people. But here we are today, corruption have killed them, and then they do it right to their people. We see it, the way they are looting, but we cannot jettison them. It's unfortunate, woman.
All right, thank you, Ajale Koko. Thank you, Ajale Koko. Well put. So that seems like the perfect spot to leave it. So thank you, gentlemen, one and all, and thank you to the audience as well for joining us. We don't take it for granted your company, so we put in the effort, and the reward for that effort is to hold your attention. So we have held your attention for a good 2 hours. You may not be aware, but it's 2 hours now that you've been with us, and that is testament to the contribution of the panelists. It's only because of what they have to say that keeps you in this space. So if you've delighted in this, come delight in it even more later on today, when it's longer and more involved and the space more filled up. So I will leave the conversation here. Please make sure you've clicked on the like button if you can. Make sure you are subscribed, of course, as well. We need you to do those 2 things. And then come join us in the latter session, which is usually more detailed, a lot more involved. So I'll leave it here. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say peace. Thank you, everybody.